Welcome to Indian Tech Icon Spotlight, Silicon Valley chapter where visionary leaders create lasting impact. I'm Sheetalohal Acharya, and today the spotlight is illuminated by the energy and impact of our guest, Sanjeev Chhabria. Sanjeev is VP Software Engineering at Salesforce and is a global transformative leader with over 2 decades of experience in shaping award-winning cloud and networking solutions while driving innovation, excellence, and compliance. Hi Sanjeev, welcome to our show.
Well, very nice to meet you. Thank you so much for having me.
Same here, Sanjeev, and truly, looking forward for our conversation. To start with, let's, start with your current role. If you could tell us about your current role and what keeps you motivated to be in that role.
So, currently I am responsible for networking technologies at Salesforce, and pretty much think about it as performance as well as security for any traffic which goes in and out of Salesforce for accessing Salesforce applications. And so it's very exciting, keeping the lights on at Salesforce, and that's what keeps me excited because it's a very high-profile service, requires a lot of rigor, a lot of innovation. And, every day is a new day. That's what really keeps me in there.
Mm-hmm. Oh, absolutely. Now, talking about the current trends in industry now, everyone these days is talking about AI, generative AI and agentic AI. So how do you see these new technologies transforming the current businesses?
Sure. I think AI is one of those transformative things which is happening in our industry, as everybody knows. And it is very exciting. A lot of applications for AI, as right now we are in a generative AI phase. Actually at Salesforce, we are adopting AI across the board. In fact, that is our mantra. Salesforce out of the gate has been one of the first companies which is embrace the agentic AI and really driving the agenda in the industry for that. Generally speaking, AI is transforming in a lot of different ways. How do we work, right? When I say how do we work, that work spans across right from sales to marketing, to engineering, to law, to lawyers who actually help the company. I mean, there is pretty much no aspect of the business which is not touched by AI. Mm-hmm. And that's a great thing. It's a great thing because AI is actually helping all of us. Different people use AI differently. That's a very different thing. Like, for example, coders may use it for coding or helping with the code. I use it for, let's say I'm writing a technical documentation or maybe just a email to refine my messages, to refine the documents, or even to understand, understand technical documents or technical code, put it into AI and just understand it. That itself is a big thing. Generally speaking, it's really a great way for each one of us to become much better at our jobs and do it at a much more efficient and faster pace, allowing us to do what we do the best while leveraging AI. Mm-hmm. That's what we are doing with that Salesforce with AI.
Sanjeev, you were talking about, there are a lot of no-code platforms as well. Like you were talking, a lot of developers these days are using AI for their coding. So what benefit and what challenges do you see in coming future if, everybody goes with completely no-code platforms?
I'm going to step back and let's start from today, first of all, right? Today, how are we really using it? There are different levels. There are different kind of people who are technologists who are using it for helping with their code. Then there are people who know some code but don't know enough about it. They would use the platforms to actually generate code, and they may be able to debug it something. And then there are certain folks who are, hey, I just want my application to work. I don't know any code, right? I just want to click some buttons and somehow get something out of it. And I think, something like this will, in my opinion, will continue for some time. The complexity will continue to change. Like, for example, till about say about a year ago, or maybe two. Very large code bases, the AI platforms were not able to take it in, but now they are able to take it in. Still, a software architect or software designer still needs to be able to understand what they're building, still needs to be able to put things together, because AI is not at a place where it can put all the things together and different systems working in harmony and everything is working picture perfect. So that's one part of it. Will it become better? Of course it will become better, and we will have to continue to upskill. And jobs will continue to change. I'll give you an example. The way I kind of equate it to when say computers came in, the spreadsheets came in. I don't know, 1980s, and accountants were really worried that, hey, you know what? I used to do the accounting, and I'm going to be out of job. So the way I draw this parallel is the accountants who adopted spreadsheet, who kind of up-leveled themselves to not worry about additions and subtraction and whether it's picture perfect or not, but move to the next level of what the information, what the spreadsheet is giving you, and use that to drive business. Similar thing will happen with the software, where the software technologists will actually up-level themselves and drive business while using AI to build, and they making sure that the systems are built correctly and deployed correctly, and so on and so forth. So this is how I see the future evolving for the next few years. To be fair and square, in the world of technology, probably 5 years is just too much to even think about at this point in time. So I don't think I claim to say that, hey, I know everything. I'm just talking about the next few years. But I think it's very exciting. My daughter is at UCLA. She is doing undergrad degree over there, and she's doing some research. She knows very basic coding. And what I see with her is, now she uses ChatGPT to generate a lot of code, and she actually is able to help on the research using that, which is great actually, right? I don't think she would have been able to do it without that help. So her focus has never been coding. She wants to do something in research or medicine or something like that. However, till about 2 years ago or 4 years ago, she wouldn't have been able to accomplish what she's accomplishing today. So I think this has got AI has got something for everybody in there.
No, absolutely, and that's a great answer. And I really like the example that you shared. Maybe it'd be like your daughter, it's helping her to code from 80s where people were reluctant to move to Excel sheets. So I think that's what, right? Change is the constant thing, and in the technology, it's every day evolving.
Oh yeah,
so
for sure.
That's a great insight. So Sanjeev, you have like amazing experience, over decades of experience in leading large-scale transformations, leading teams. So which project, according to you, if you look back, has been something that has really taught you the leadership skills, leadership qualities?
Two specific projects come to my mind. Actually, one was a project. One was a company transformation. In the projects, we were actually pursuing a new opportunity. We were not even in that particular business. It was still related. I was working for a networking company. It was still related to networking, but it was with mobile networking. It was with something which we were not even in the business of it. And one of the Fortune 100 companies, telecom companies, was actually needing a solution. I don't want to go into the names of the companies, regardless. But I think what eventually ended up happening in there was we ended up building I was one of the persons, another couple of people. We ended up building a solution for that company. And actually, I, along with another product manager, we went to Piscataway and talked to the company, talked about, how our solution would work. It took us some time. But net, what I learned out of that is, and it took us a couple of rounds, to work through that, answer all the questions, be open about what the shortcomings were, what have you. Eventually, we did win the business, and my learning from there was being very persuasive, being, for lack of a better term, anal about it, and going after what you need to, while solving customer problems. So net they have to be win-win situation, and that really works out, because everybody is there to actually solve certain problem. Your customer is there to solve their problems. You need to sell to the customer to solve your problem, and sometimes the solutions are not that clear, not that great, not that easy. But being persistent pays off. That was one of the learnings for me. But this is this generally has been I would say true across the board, for me at least. But the second one also was very interesting for me from the leadership aspect, where I was working for a company which went through M&A, and we were in a very tricky situation where M&A was, the company which bought us was going to divest our business, which we knew. Net of that is, the morale was down. People were not sure where this is going, all sorts of stuff. And it took us 2 months. We were in 2 months period where we did not know what the next company would be, because we knew that when the business would be divested. To keep the morale up of the engineers, keep them focused, keep the business going, and showing up at work upbeat every day. That was something which actually has helped shape my leadership style, because that was a very, very difficult situation, generally speaking, for me, for the company, for the people overall. But we came out of that with very well, I would say. And so once again, that has actually helped shape my leadership quite a bit, because working with the people constantly and making sure, taking care of their worries, being empathetic towards them, I think that is one of the key factors.
Yeah, that's kind of a great experience that you have shared with us, Sanjeev. Now, let's talk a little more about team building, team management. So there is one very crucial aspect, which is the conflict management for managing any team. So how do you manage that, or what's your approach in managing conflicts within teams?
Actually, it is applicable across the board at every walk of our life and every age of our life. Anyway, so at least the way I look at it is why there is a conflict. Conflict is, at the end of the game, is two people are seeing the same thing differently. A lot of times, at least what I see, is that it is just a perspective. Being able to respect each other's perspective, or understand each other's perspective, that is important. Be acknowledging that yes, it may make sense from a different angle. That actually goes a long way, and aligning towards a common goal. So when the people or the parties are in conflict and they align towards a common goal, at least they explicitly they come to the same page, that we are going towards the same place, and acknowledging the challenges of each other and figuring out a common path to the success. That has, I would say, always worked for me.
No, absolutely, and that's kind of a great insight as well. Now, Sanjeev, let's talk a bit about the Bay Area. I think you did your master's, all your education, right? You have been, it's been like decades for you to be in Bay Area. So do you want to share that experience? Like, when did you move here, and about your education and about your early days. And also, we would love to know about where you were born and brought up back in India.
Yeah, I have been in Bay Area for about, well, actually 30 years now. A little bit more than 30 years. I came to Bay Area in 95. Before that I did my master's in the Midwest, came over here. I got lucky actually with a startup. Well, it was a mature startup, but we are pioneering a wide area network, which right now everybody takes it granted. At that point, there was no internet. So, well, internet was there, but it used to be with the defense agency. It was not there for average consumer, and but we were pioneering how the internet works today, and so I got lucky over there, joined a company, and which got eventually bought over by Cisco, and the rest is history. I also did master's in business administration at Berkeley.
Okay.
And that was another, at least for me, some people are born, I guess, knowledgeable. They know everything about everything. I'm not one of them. I need to be trained.
You're being humble.
And so, but it was very good for me to get a very broad perspective, not just from technology, from the business aspects of things. And then, I've been in networking companies. Few of them I've worked on, different aspects, routing technologies, as well as data center routing, wide area networking, Wi-Fi, and now cloud networking, right? So yeah, overall it has been great. I think I've been, to be fair and square, lucky and grateful that I got this opportunity in this world to see this to actually make a contribution through my journey. And prior to that, I am from Bombay, or Mumbai as I call it now. And but I've lived all over India. I've lived multiple places in India. That's pretty much it.
That's great to know about your background, and also I think you have worked on some of the breakthroughs in technology. So I think you would kind of should be, I don't know. So yeah, thanks for sharing that experience with us, and I'm sure those are all breakthrough kind of the changes in the world of technology that you have experienced. Now, let's move on a little bit again. Let's talk about your family. Who all are the key members in your family, and how do you spend time with them? What are your weekend rituals that you usually follow?
I see. Well, so I think that is something I could do better. To be fair and square, I've been more of a 60, 70 hours a week kind of a person. So I spend a considerable amount of time at work, and it's just become a habit, I guess. So I could do better. In the last few years, I've done a little bit better than the years before. And how do I spend my time with the family? Just we always have dinner together. It's a everyday ritual. How much ever busy I am, we will always be at the dinner table together. It may not always be a happy conversation at the dinner table, but it is always a conversation. Me and my wife, we like movies, so we not necessarily at movie theater, but at home we'll still some time to find some time to watch something. And then I actually help my kids with robotics and some of the other projects. So that's one. And I am, I guess in the weekend I'm a Uber guy as well, dad Uber.
Okay. So that's great to know. And again, you talked about spending a lot of time, at work. So is this like the Bay Area thing? Usually, there's a lot of pressure. I would say people who live in Bay Area, because it's the innovation hub, it's the technology hub of the world. So how things are different, like, even the culture or the work culture, do you see different when you visit some other places as compared to Bay Area?
I think Bay Area, for good or bad, I am not so sure about it. It has been, it's been a pressure cooker environment. And, it is innovation hub, like you rightfully said. Everybody is out to build something, and when you are building something, it's got to be fast. I got to be better, faster than the next guy around, right? So all those things are given, right? And then versus when I visit some of the other places, the work-life balance is much better. Which is a good thing. It's not whenever I visit those places, sometimes I feel that, hey, maybe I should have done something differently in my life, but it's too late at this point in time. But yeah, I think it is because of a lot of companies coming together and just generally very like-minded people who are trying to get ahead, not for themselves, but just from the technology aspect point of view. So, people do spend enough time at work, and I think, it's just a way of life over here.
No, absolutely. And I think now if you go back to, some other places, you will see that, it's such a laid-back city, so even you might not be able to adjust then.
Yeah, well, possible, but I've never lived in another city to be able to say that, actually.
Okay, that's good. Now, let's talk a little bit about, your hobbies and interests. Like, I know you don't get much of your me time, but still, if you get, do you have any specific hobbies or interests?
I actually still spend or steal enough time during the day and the weekends to read some financial articles. I'm not a big book reader. I can never pick up 200-page book and read it. But I read, like, Barron's or Wall Street Journal or some of those business articles. I enjoy reading them. I like investments. I wish I would have done better in investments, but hey, that's life. Yeah. So I think that is something for me what I like to do.
Thank you for sharing that with us. Anything like big that you're now looking at to achieve in your future?
Anything big?
Maybe any venture of yours because of the vibes around?
Yeah. Well, too many of them, I guess. But the first things first, my biggest milestone I'm looking is my kids graduating and getting out of my hair. So that's one. Beyond that, I have always thought about just packing up and going and living at different places, not visiting. So going and living a couple of years in one country versus another country till the point I'm able to move around, and hopefully I'll be able to do that soon.
Yeah, and I think that will be a good break to kind of, be in different cities and explore them and explore the different culture.
Oh, yeah. Me and my wife both would love that. We'll see whether we are able to make it happen or not, but that would be awesome.
Absolutely. Good luck with that.
Thank you.
Now, Sanjeev, we are almost nearing end of our, this great conversation. And at the end, we have a section called as Rapid Fire Round. So I'll be asking you quick questions.
Sure.
Simple ones, no pressure to answer, but you can take a couple of seconds to answer those. You ready?
Sure.
Okay. So your first question, your go-to source of inspiration?
Well, one of them. Starting with my parents, my mother, my father, and all the way sometimes to my kids.
Wow.
So I think the inspiration is something which you derive. I don't think there is one person who gives me inspiration, and I inspire to be like different people, or derive inspiration from different people for different things. I don't know whether I am different, but I feel everybody does the similar thing.
No, absolutely, and I really like that answer. The next one. Agile or hybrid development, your preference?
I think it's the situation based. I'll give you an example. Agile is really good when you are doing something short. Like for example, a quick development, a quick web page, and asking you as a customer that do you like the layout? And if you don't like the layout, I can change the layout very quickly instead of building everything, showing it to you later. Right. Versus if you're building infrastructure, for example, you may need to plan much more in advance. You can do execution in Agile, but you have to plan much more in advance. A good example would be is if you are building, since we are in California, and in California we are building high-speed railroad. While we are trying to figure out how to build this high-speed rail from Los Angeles to San Francisco, and I don't know where else. That's great, but there are two ways to do it. One is you can figure out how I'm going to lay the rail out, which cities are we going to go through, make sure the permits are there, and then build the rail, start building it. So you still have to build it in chunks, which means Agile, but you're planning upfront. Versus another way to do it is, I'm going to build till this city and I'm going to worry about after that I'll worry about later. And then we will end up in situations like, well, I'm not getting a permit, or this is a problem, or that is a problem, and therefore the project is delayed. So what I'm trying to say is there are different kind of projects which require different ways of planning and execution. I don't think there is a one-size-fits-all answer.
No, absolutely. And thank you for supporting your answer with great examples. That's insightful. The next question. Legacy systems, nostalgia trip, or haunting ghost?
Legacy systems, haunting?
Or it's a nostalgia trip? The old systems.
I don't know, honestly. I think I'm more excited by the future than anything in the past.
Okay, taken. A habit that keeps you productive.
A habit that keeps me productive. Looking at my targets every day, every week, refreshing always to make sure that where I'm going towards and and when do I need to reach that milestones. That's what keeps me going.
Okay, that's a great answer. And your last question, your dream vacation destination.
Dream vacation destination. Well, I think beach with a bar, anywhere. I'm good.
And that's why you're in Bay Area.
Well, I don't know. I mean, we want to move to San Diego. We'll see how that works.
Oh, yeah. That's another beautiful place to live. Thank you so much. You played really well. And thank you for sharing, such great insight, your experiences, your journey. And I'm sure our audiences will get inspired from your journey and from what you're currently doing about your role. So thank you so much for being on our show, Sanjeev. And it's really a pleasure meeting you today.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
Thanks
for your time.